From the Keith Vincent Kaola Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Arrow Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, cursed movies. Are they really cursed? We'll discuss. Now your host, JC3.
Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real?
Is this real?
Tonight's episode, as you heard Big Joe Dad at the beginning, we are talking about cursed movies. And we're talking about a lot of cursed movies tonight. But before we get into that, this episode is presented by Dubby!
Shout out to Dubby.
Go to dubby.gg, punch in the code IsIsraelPC for your 10% off on all Dubby products. And it helps support our show. But in the booth, as you heard, Big Joe, say hello.
Finally, Big Joe has returned to the airwaves.
Yes, thank you. In
Yes,
your
come to
newspaper
conquer.
shirt.
Alexander the Great.
My shirt alone, man. It cost me $8.
All right, cool.
I like it.
Thank you.
actually do like it.
I like it.
See, thank you.
It's fly.
In behind them, we have Cito in the booth. Cito, say hello.
Hola!
It's a Cito.
It's a Cito.
Cito.
The Pope himself.
I'm the Pope.
All right, Mr. West. Mr. West is in the building.
Mr. West is in the building. Konnichiwa, bitches.
And I'm JC3, and as we're talking about cursed movies. All right, so cursed movies. So we have a lot of cursed movies, and at least generally known cursed movies, right? That's
Sure.
quote unquote cursed. It could be from whatever you believe in, because a lot of people don't believe in the word curse, don't believe in stuff like that.
Well, curses are real.
Oddities that are happening on these sets. It's really
Well,
Accidents.
are they real, Wes?
Deaths.
What, curses?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And again, a lot of people don't believe in curses.
Well, I got one for you. We're gonna start
You want to start off right up?
right into it.
right.
We're
Go
gonna start
for it.
off
Go for it. No Vaseline.
with it.
No Vaseline.
You're not even going to give him the courtesy of spitting on it, are you, Dad?
Yep.
Tell him to bite the pillow. You're going in dry.
Who needs Vaseline when you have enthusiasm?
That's right.
Oh my God.
Anyway, let's get this ball rolling here. We're gonna go right to the granddaddy of horror movies. Anybody know what that one is?
Which one?
The granddaddy of all horror movies.
The Exorcist.
Thank you.
Yes.
You get 'em up.
hold on. I wouldn't call that the granddaddy of horror movies.
We're not here.
It's
We're not here.
No,
We're not here to debate you.
No, I don't
You're
care
wrong.
about
No,
that.
wouldn't have been the. If we're gonna talk,
Nosferatu is the
I
granddaddy
was
of
gonna
horror
say, isn't
movies.
that
No, it's
gonna
not.
be the original
Okay.
horror?
All right. If
The
you want to
greatest
look
horror
to the
movie
granddaddy,
of
yes.
all.
Greatest movie of horror movie of all time,
Yes.
Exorcist. I've said that many times. We've all generally agreed on that on this show. Many
We're
times.
gonna argue over semantics now.
But it's not semantics. The granddaddy of horror movies, if you want to call it where it is, where it's Nosferatu.
Okay. Sorry, I
That's
bowed
Dracula,
before
right?
you. I
No.
made it.
No,
All right.
isn't Nosferatu Dracula two different people, right?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
two. It's Count
What?
Olaf and
And
Count
Dracula.
Dracula.
Let's go with the godfather of all modern day horror movies.
Okay.
Modern day
Okay.
meaning like from 1939 up. Which you could include Dracula, but I'm going to leave Dracula out of that.
Well,
That's
if you're gonna
separate.
talk about grandparent horror movies, you're gonna do Nosferatu, The Phantom of the Opera, all those type
Okay.
of movies. You know.
All right,
But
so-
okay.
Let's
The
get back to
Exorcist.
the Exorcist. A lot of strange fires happened on the Exorcist, the set of the Exorcist, and what's strange about it, the buildings in the Exorcist were all done on a soundstage. Okay, the Reagan home, that was a soundstage. There was another one that was all done. There was a massive fire that happened and delayed production for 7 weeks. Okay, and no one knew. They said a pigeon flew into a light box and started the fire, but nobody knows for sure. However, the odd
Did they find
thing,
a pigeon?
I don't know. Maybe he was toasted.
The
I don't know.
carcass. No, it was fried chicken.
Okay. What the oddity about this makes it really strange is the entire set burned to the ground, except the set of Reagan's bedroom, where most of the possession scenes, it was left intact.
Well, there was
nothing wrong.
there was
with it.
also another Reagan set that was built in a refrigerator, right? The bedroom.
Yeah, that was the one.
That was the same set.
No,
No,
that was
okay.
that was a separate part of the soundstage that they actually had to build in a freezer, because this way when they were breathing the
Yeah, you saw
the condensation. No, that one I don't know anything about that one, but I know that this one burned to the ground, but it left the bedroom intact where all the, the pea shooting was going on and all this other crap. So that's a little strange in itself, and that's one for The Exorcist. And
But there were other weird stuff that happened.
on the
with-
Exorcist,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
the
sure. I
Exorcist,
mean,
yeah.
Anthony, you
Oh,
should
yeah,
have-
there's
Well,
always a lot of
okay,
stuff
so
that
here's
happens.
one.
I think I remember us talking about this at one point, because wasn't that one girl, she actually like really hurt her back when they like
The
filmed
mother,
her?
yeah.
The mother,
When they
yes.
Yeah,
Well,
when
that
it
was a
burst them, yeah.
stunt. That was more or less a stunt that she wasn't. It was a stunt gone wrong. Essentially, they pulled her because in the movie, it's the scene where the demonic presence pushes the mother away from Reagan,
Okay.
and they
Reagan's a little girl, correct?
Yeah, Reagan's a little girl.
Yeah, Reagan's the little girl.
The
then,
mother
yeah,
is
Reagan's
tied up on the.
Who, by the way, is coming back for the second. Well, not the second.
It's the
Exorcist,
rebooted
the
or
rebooted.
whatever's
Yeah.
whatever new ones are coming out. Anyway, there was a scene where she gets pulled away from Reagan. So the stunt people had her rigged up, and they pulled her too hard, and she slipped some discs or something in her back, and it fucked her back up like for real.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's more or less a fucked up stunt that happened. But here's something: the brother, Max von Sydow's brother. Everyone knows Max von Sydow played Father Marin. His brother died on the first day of shooting.
Really?
Yeah,
Died?
he died on the first day of shooting.
Holy shit.
I don't know. It doesn't say how. One of the technicians who worked on the film's refrigeration
I
set,
didn't know that.
that person also passed away during production. And yeah, so like people died. The fire burned up a lot of shit except for Reagan's bedroom, like Dad was talking about. They actually had a Jesuit priest come in and bless everything. It's like, we're making a movie about the devil. Let's arm ourselves.
Oh, I would too, though.
It happens more than you think. A lot of these horror movies that are going that way will bring in somebody of the clergy to bless the set. This way they feel protected, you know. So I don't know. But that's odd, though. I mean, everything got burned down except for Reagan's bedroom, you know. That's a little strange. But I guess it happened. And Bill Friedkin, the producer,
The director,
he actually said, you know what? This is bad karma, folks.
But Friedkin also
Bad
fucked with
juju.
people. Friedkin used to fire guns in the air between takes to keep everyone on their toes. Like
That's
he
an
was
asshole.
He was an asshole. He would blast music at like 1,000 decibels. He's like, all right, cut. Let's start for the next shot. Drop, kick off War Pigs. Put it on 11, and then like everyone's trying to get to the next thing, and he's jamming out. Like he was a prick.
Well, I have.
Someone was apparently
Oh.
murdered as well too.
Yes, I was gonna get to that.
Sorry, I was because I'm looking at a.
You want to take that? You can take it.
Well, I'm not taking. I'm just seeing. What's it called? If the deaths aren't enough to convince you of a curse, there's a murder thrown in the mix as well. Paul Bateson,
Bateson, right?
who played a radiology tech in The Exorcist, murdered a variety reporter in 1977, reports Esquire. At one point, he was also thought to have been a serial killer who murdered at least 6 other people between 1975 to 1977, but those accusations were eventually dropped because there wasn't enough evidence, not even pigeons.
Yeah, and he took 24 years in prison because of that. And also, other than Linda Blair, who played Reagan, also had a back injury as well that I just read about. So yeah, but again, I think those are more like they're making this movie, everyone's on edge, and they yanked her too hard, fucked up her back versus something else. But yeah, but fire, murder, people dropping dead, pigeons, all points of curse to me.
Yeah,
Hold on,
pigeons.
hold on.
Pigeons.
Wait,
Pigeons
what,
are stupid.
wait, what about this one where the guy,
Pigeons.
where like apparently, did you talk about that? A priest that came up to the guy, saying that this movie was like to watch out for something.
Well, I think that's the role of any priest when because priests don't like anybody fucking with dark forces. And
It says.
even in the sake of art, it's like, don't fuck with that. Just leave it alone.
It
Yeah,
says,
that's-
according to
that's
the
a no-no.
Independent, Miller was approached by a real priest in the street while the movie was filming.
Well, those are real priests
The
that played in the
The
movie.
priest in question supposedly had no knowledge of The Exorcist, what it was about, or that Miller was connected to the project. It's reported that the priest handed Miller a sacred medallion and said, "Reveal the devil for the trickster that he is. He will seek retribution against you, or he will even try to stop what you are trying to do to unmask him."
Well, the guy that played in The Exorcist opposite Miller, he was actually a priest.
A real life
He
priest.
was a real life priest, and he was a technical assistant. Is that what they call him?
Yes.
On that, so he would be the, he knew what was going on. In fact, he came back for The Exorcist 3, which had very little to do with the original movie. But he was also the
Well,
technician on, or the technical advisor on that one as well.
what I have right here in front of me is an editorial by Rotten Tomatoes itself, not sponsored, by the way. They sit there and they talk about 12 different movies
Yeah.
that suppose are cursed movies
Yeah.
throughout time, and they talk about at a 1 out of 5 scale of the plausibility of the claims.
Right.
And they talk about, it's very short. Like the first one is a movie called Antrim. It's called The Deadliest Film Ever Made, and it was 2018. It has a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
So that's a decent film by Rotten Tomatoes standard.
Well, I don't really trust their scoring rating, but go
Neither
on.
do I. But what better way to kick off things than with a movie that is perfect, a perfect Venn diagram of both concepts: found footage, faux real horror, and supposedly cursed films. Antrim purports to be a documentary about a lost 70s film that was only screened twice because everyone who watched it dies.
Cool.
The movie opens with an
Write down the title. That kind of like.
The movie opens with an 8-minute documentary detailing the curse around the film, then shows you the film itself, which is about 2 young kids who attempt to dig a hole to hell to save their recently deceased dog.
Hold on a second.
Why did their dog go to hell?
Yeah, like what did the dog do?
What the dog doing?
The poor pupper went to hell?
the
Listen, if the dog goes to hell, the dog belongs in hell.
The
Does that
film
mean he's a hellhound? Is that
Probably.
probably.
So, what did he do?
filmmakers
He
their-
mauled a 2-year-old. Yeah, let him stay in hell. Fuck him.
The filmmakers do their best to make the movie within a movie look authentically 70s to help sell the whole fake facade.
It's going to be a boring movie. It's like 2 12-year-olds digging
Yeah.
a hole in the fucking woods.
The fact that Antrim's release was preceded by rumors and word of mouth among hardcore horror fans, much like the Serbian film, which we don't fucking talk about.
Well, I'll talk about it.
You don't know the Serbian film?
We'll talk about it.
Don't look up the Serbian film. Lent the movie an air of real mystery. Some eager horror buffs even tried to track the original Antrim down, believing it to be real.
Well, it's the same
Nothing,
shit.
yeah, nothing really happened on set or anything
Right.
like that. It
It's
was just, it was basically, you know, the hype that the Blair Witch
I was
Project
going to
got.
say that, right.
Yeah.
Same thing in 2018.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, that really happened. Like, no, it didn't. Everything about that movie was bullshit.
The next one is a movie called Snuff,
Nice.
1976.
No, I didn't see that one.
The concept of a snuff film.
I
a
saw the
movie depicting-
1986 version, 1987 version,
Calm down.
1992, 1993. Sorry.
The concept of a snuff film, a movie depicting an actual murder, basically started in 1971 when Ed Sanders, the author of the book about the Manson family, asserted that Charles Manson and his followers had filmed their killing spree. No footage was ever found. Then, just a few years later in 76, husband and wife directors Michael and Roberta Finley made a cheap exploitation film called Slaughter about an actress and her director who are murdered by the Manson family-esque clan in South America. Grindhouse film distributor Alan Shackleton bought the film, changed the title to Snuff, and released it under the pretense that it depicted a real murder of the main actress.
They did anything for shock back in the 70s.
This kickstarted an obsession with snuff films, although none has ever been conclusively unearthed.
Yeah, that's true because they're all fucking illegal. So if there's like an actual...
Well, murder does seem to do that.
No, I'm saying like if there's an actual snuff film, they're not trading it around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even on those peer-to-peer networks back in the day, like Napster and what was it, LimeWire, Greenwire, some shit like that?
LimeWire, you know, the thing that gave your computer AIDS?
Yeah, that. Like, even back then, it was like you could download some unholy shit, but you weren't downloading snuff films because nobody was dumb enough to record themselves murdering someone.
Yeah.
Isn't
and
that what
putting
that
it out
movie
there.
8mm was about with
Yes.
Nick Cage? That was
Great
about it?
film.
Yeah.
The second one sucked.
So, well, the second one had nothing to do with the original.
The machine.
They threw 8mm 2 on there because 8mm. Everyone remembered 8mm. Yeah, this is.
That also had James Gandolfini in it.
Yes, it
Right?
did. Had an all-star cast.
Yeah.
It's a slept-on movie. I love that movie.
But it's the plausibility score is 4 to 5. The Manson connection and the fact that people still believe in the existence of snuff films even today and really sell this one.
Poor
Yeah, no.
Charlie.
So nothing happened on this
Poor
film.
Charlie.
They have Poltergeist on here, 1982.
Yes, that's a big
perhaps
one.
the most famous cursed movie of all time, the original 1982 Poltergeist, about a suburban family terrorized by a supernatural presence, climaxed with a scene in which the mom, Jo Beth Williams, is dragged into a partially dug out pool and is surrounded by skeletons. The reveal being that the housing development in which they live was unscrupulously built on top of a graveyard.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like a
You removed the stones, but you didn't remove the bodies. Perfect. A great line in any movie.
Yeah.
it was supposed to be a Native American graveyard.
I
right?
don't remember if it was supposed to be Native American specifically,
Yeah, I don't think it was.
but it was just a graveyard. But to save money, they used real skeletons.
Well, the
Nice.
rumor.
You can't go wrong with real skeletons.
The rumor that was the film crew had not only used real skeletons, but had desecrated graves themselves to get them. Mysterious and ultimately untimely deaths of some of the actors in the trilogy, including young Heather O'Rourke, who played the
Yes.
abducted little girl Carol Ann,
She's still on the TV.
who died at the age of 12 due to congenital intestinal issues.
Yeah, but see, she died later because she was in Poltergeist 3, I believe it was,
I don't know.
with Ed Scarrers, with that guy that was in Top Gun.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I mean?
And Dominique Dunn, who played oldest sibling Dana, who was murdered by a jealous boyfriend at the age of 22, led to the urban legend that the ghosts of the unwitting skeletal co-stars had cursed the film and everyone who worked on it.
Yeah.
It's flimsy because clearly major players like Williams, Craig T. Nelson, director Toby Hooper, and producer Steven Spielberg all worked away unscathed. So their plausibility is 1 out of 5.
I
Yeah,
don't
2
believe any of
people
that
died.
because if you're gonna have a cursed movie, I want to see something happen immediately.
I want
Not
to see
too-
19 people dead.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see.
Wow. Exactly.
Those are rookie.
He wants
That's a
the
curse.
he wants the entire film crew
those are-
gone.
I don't want to
That's-
see him
Come
film
on,
6
what are you
movies
talking
and then
about?
she dies of a brain
And you know what? If those
I
guys,
want to blame one movie.
if those guys, those PAs, those production assistants broke into like cemeteries and desecrated graves for those skeletons, they deserve a raise because that's what you do for art.
That is real dedication.
That is real dedication. They wanted to make this movie.
That
as
is
authentic-
also illegal.
They
Of
want.
course.
You know,
Who's
of
gonna
course
complain?
I'm
The
not
dead
saying
guy?
that.
Folks, you don't do
Listen,
stuff
I'm not
like
saying-
that.
I'm not
The
saying
dead guy is now famous. Think of it like that. There's a trade-off there.
Jesus Christ. Am I going to the next one?
Well, I want to jump in. I got one here. I got what was that called?
The Omen.
The Omen. There's some really crazy shit that went on with that.
The Omen is on this list also.
Oh, God, then
Which
we'll
one?
throw
The
about.
original
I'll
one?
give you some.
The one from the 70s?
Yeah,
Or
the
80s?
very
Well,
first one.
how about this?
Name was changed 3 times.
We'll
lost
take
footage. Go ahead.
we'll take a short little break and then we'll come back and talk about more curse movies. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right, so
Okay.
we'll be right back. Hey everybody, I'm JC3.
And I'm Mr. West.
And this episode is brought to you by Dubby. Made by professionals in the USA, Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash.
No jitters.
Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, including the patented neurofactor.
Neural factor.
You know what Dubby doesn't give you?
What is that?
No calories,
No calories.
no sugars,
No sugar.
no fillers,
No fillers.
and no artificial flavors. When the raw ingredients arrive to their FDA-registered and inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP guidelines, they undergo a quarantine while a small sample of each ingredient is taken to test for any impurities, while also being tested to ensure that the ingredients are actually what they are supposed to be and have the proper dosage.
And once the ingredients pass all the tests, then they're cleared to get mixed into the formula. So head on over to dubby.gg and use our offer code IsThisRealPC for 10% off your first order. That's DUBBY.GG and use the code IsThisRealPC for 10% off. They have great flavors such as Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge, Passion Joy Tea, Monkey Madness, and Dragonade. My personal favorites.
Dragonade right here. I got Dragonade right here. Delicious.
Drink Dubby.
And be better.
These products are not intended to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hello, this is JC3 speaking. If you want to know more about Is This Real Podcast and our parent company Green Hour Media, then visit greenhourmedia.org. You can find and follow all of our social media pages through our website. If you love our content, then you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Patreon page. Remember, that is greenhourmedia.org.
And we're back with more of our Curse Movies episode. Again, this episode presented by Dubby.
Shout out to Dubby. Shout out to Dubby.
Go to dubby.gg, get your percentage off, 10% off with the code IsIsRealPC.
That's right.
Dubby.
Mainline
yes,
some
Debbie.
dragon power or dragon
No,
whatever.
shut up. Shut up.
Stop
is
it.
it?
How do we not know that? How do you not know the products?
I don't
That's
have it in
seriously.
front of me right now. And I, when you drink as much W as I do, all your
You're
thoughts
snorting, Dubby. You're
all
not
your
drinking,
thoughts
Dubby.
kind of like blend into one.
I need
One
some W
giant
right now,
thought.
actually.
I drink W all day long.
So we'll get to the Omen in the second.
My
Dad.
heart's
the next,
about to give out.
the next movie that they have is the one we were talking about before, the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, really? The Blair Witch is on there.
Yes, horror is a great way for young talents to break
How
into
is that
the
movie
business.
cursed?
I'm reading it. Horror is the great way for young talents to break into the business because often what you don't see is scarier than what you do. So it's a godsend for indie filmmakers with more creativity than budget. The Blair Witch Project came about exactly at the right time, exploring the still nascent World Wide Web. Nascent, did I say that word correctly?
I don't know. I'm not
Descent.
reading the article.
It managed to cultivate its own urban legend of supposedly lost camp footage that was recovered after a group of young filmmakers went missing. The conceit of it being filmed on the fly covered the overall fact that you don't really see much of anything.
I don't see fucking anything at all.
And the clever use of sound effects and the overall That was weird. The plane, I'm sorry. The plane just got really loud real quick.
It's not. They're not coming. The Japanese have not come for a long time, Joe.
I'm not worried about the Japanese. I'm worried about the Russians. And the overall naturalistic performances by the lead actors made you think, just for a second, that maybe this was the real deal. Of course, Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2 came out, and around a year later to confirm that, yes, this was indeed just a cheesy horror franchise at its core.
Yeah, they had to get. At one point, the 3 stars had to show up on David Letterman because it's like people were going into the woods in Maryland and be like, "We're gonna find these kids," and it's like, "No, they're not there. They don't exist. They're not real people." It's like, "No, they're there somewhere. I saw the film." And it's like, okay, so they had to appear on David Letterman to be like, "We're not dead.
Didn't
We
they
made a
just,
movie."
over the last couple? Didn't they just put another Blair Witch out, like a third one?
They made a 3rd one. Here's what's weird. Now,
And that one was just as shitty.
I didn't see the 3rd one. I didn't see the 3rd one at all. I saw the first
They
one.
all sucked.
Everyone did. The first one sucked. Like you keep. There's a reason why it works though, because you keep. It works off of anticipation.
Yes.
You keep expecting to see something, and you don't want to cover your eyes, but you do because you think that any moment something's going to happen, and nothing ever does. It's the ultimate cock block.
The only found footage
That is
movie
not
to me
the worst way to put it.
that has, I mean, granted, yes, technically,
It's not.
this was a complete and utter success. It made
Oh yeah, absolutely.
financial millions. As far as like moviegoers, like real movie people, the movie was a shitty movie.
It's a shitty movie from a story aspect, production aspect. You're going to get as good as it was put into it because it's
Yeah.
designed that way. And as far as
And what I think
from the money
the,
end,
the
yeah,
peak
brilliant.
of this of found footage type films was always, to me, is always going to be Paranormal Activity, the first one.
Yeah, same shit.
It's that one you actually did see shit though.
Right, but this you're talking a different generation.
Yeah.
I think it was 10 or 15 years later it passed.
Yeah.
And you had the opportunity to do something
Well,
again.
I think Paranormal Activity, the first one. Damn, bro, I was in middle school when that first one.
Yeah,
came
Right.
out.
So I know
I'm
that
old.
Blair Witch came out
It
in
was like,
'99.
it was like yeah, it must have been like 08, 09.
Yeah. Oh, I believe the first.
So about
one-
10 years
Yeah.
passed. So you had the opportunity to okay, that idea died. Let's play it up again and let's improve it.
Yeah.
So then the hooves and the baby powder and
Yeah. I'll
bitches
be
getting
honest.
thrown across
When
the room.
when I was in middle school, that scared the fuck out of me.
It was a good movie. It was very well done. But
Like when
I saw it the
if
night
you
it came out.
if you continue the storyline and watch the second through like 8th one, it's like shitty storyline.
I'm
more and
good.
more. But the first one completely to me sat there and I was like, that's the peak of found footage.
Yeah, here's Blair Witch. They did their best to milk that fucking thing.
Record REC. Record was another. Good
Yeah,
one,
another
too.
one. Yeah, no
Quarantine,
VHS.
Quarantine.
Yeah, Quarantine was another one.
The first 2 quarantines weren't that bad.
Yeah, I mean they did a
But
lot of.
like you said, this is peak.
They did a lot of found footage. Now the
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. Now they tried to milk fucking Blair Witch as long as possible because they released 8 young adult novels, and they were all like, "Hey, I'm the cousin of the chick who went missing, and here's some more Blair Witch related things." And I was like, "Okay, I'll read it." and I have them all still, and they're fine. They're like spooky stories for kids. But
Sito, have you seen any of these movies?
Too much reading for me.
But yeah, after they did the first one, the second one came out, which is a guilty pleasure movie of mine because I like that one. It's a terrible movie, but the chick is dancing naked in the woods.
Let's be honest. It's the Blair Witch.
Well, let's just put it like that. Sito, since you are the youngest one out of all of us, as far as any of the movies we spoke about so far, have you seen The Exorcist?
All of them.
Oh, you've seen The Exorcist, The Omen.
I'm just nodding my head to anything Anthony says about the Blair Witch. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no, I think we're all in agreement with that one. The Blair Witch, that's a shitty movie. Great concept.
Rare moment where we're all in agreement with Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Great concept and a
they
great
milked the
idea.
Life out-
And as far as filmmaking aspect and the way they want to do,
Perfect.
and
And I mean, and it had everyone talking, other than just the ending had everyone talking. It's like, why was he standing in the corner? What? Oh, I saw something. No, you didn't. And that's the other thing. Everyone thought they saw something, so they had to go back and watch it again.
Yep.
That's more money in the pockets of the producers.
Yep.
Brilliant movie from that aspect. That's all I have to say.
Well, let's move on to The Omen, Dad. So
Ooh.
they wrote it like this. Ready? They go, strap in for this one. Shut up.
Damn it.
Strap on, Anthony. Strap in.
Damn it.
You're not getting
Producer Harvey Bernard, whatever the fuck you want to call it, claims that the initial idea for the seminal horror classic, The Omen, came from an advertising exec named Bob Munger. Munger suggested that a movie about the Antichrist would be cool, but that no one should actually make it because the devil was at work and he didn't want to make that film.
Really? You know, it'd be really a great idea.
Let's
I'm
make-
not going to do it, but somebody should.
Let's make a movie about the devil.
I
Well-
don't want to figure out what the devil has, but
He
You can
may
go
he
figure it.
may have been right. Just a month before filming was to start, lead actor Gregory Peck's son committed suicide.
Sure.
Check
okay,
one.
Starting off strong.
As he flew to the set, Peck
Was it suicide or was it a sacrifice?
as he flew
Stop,
as
stop,
Peck
yo.
as Peck flew to the set, his plane was struck by lightning.
Get the-
Strike two.
Get the
I don't like what's happening to me.
And
Get the
then
fuck out of
wait,
here.
and then executive producer Mark Neufeld's plane was also struck by lightning on his way to the same location. Check three.
And
That's
wait,
even,
is this
yo,
all
that's even more
before?
rare. That's more rare because imagine the plane got hit in the same exact spot twice, bro.
Hold on,
Where they say lightning don't strike
bro.
twice.
Hold on.
It did, didn't it?
No, not that. It gets fucking weirder. Ready for
Oh,
this
it
one?
does. It
God.
gets weirder. It absolutely does.
The hotel Neufeld and his wife were staying in at the time, then got bombed by the Irish Republican Army.
I don't want to make a movie about the Antichrist.
The crew hired a small plane to do some aerial photography, but it was given to another client at the last minute. That plane crashed on takeoff and killed everyone on board.
Seamus, get the big one. They're making a movie about the devil, Seamus. We can't have that.
Hey, yo, bro.
Filming
How
a
many checks is this? 6?
this is about 5 or 6 right now, so ready. Filming a zoo sequence, the young boy playing the demonic Damien apparently upset the baboons so much that they started freaking out. So an animal wrangler was called to help.
The fuck he gonna do? Get in and start kickboxing with the fucking monkeys?
The next day, he was mauled by a tiger and killed.
Different animal completely.
Holy shit, yo.
The tiger was like, "Hey, yo, baboons, tenderize them for me."
But perhaps the most chilling result of the curse, this is going to be the most chilling, was what happened to the special effects supervisor John Richardson. One of his big FX sequences in The Omen was one in which a character is depicted by a sheet of glass.
Yes.
While working on his next movie set in the Netherlands, Richardson and his assistant were involved in a car accident, and his assistant, you guessed it, was decapitated.
Yes.
So, not depicted, decapitated. I read that a little too fast.
Yes.
So, in The Omen, there's a scene.
Someone gets decapitated by
someone
glass.
gets decapitated by glass. His next movie he goes to, his assistant gets decapitated by
And where was he when he was
glass.
on the way? Where was that second? Where would that car accident take place?
in the Netherlands.
Oh, the Netherlands.
This is
Okay.
number 8 now.
Yes.
Yo.
Legend has it the accident occurred near a street sign that read Omen 66.6 kilometers.
Sure it did. See, that I don't believe. Unless it's a fucking
It's OMMEN.
Unless I see like a picture of the crash with the sign in the background, that I'm gonna be like, that's a little too on the money.
So their plausibility score for all this is a 4 out of 5. Not a 5 out of 5.
Do you know that the
Devil Works.
Who was that last guy that got?
Devil Works in Mysterious.
John-
Real city.
John Richardson,
That might actually be a real sign.
because
Richardson.
Netherlands, Omen, 66.6 sign.
That might actually be a real sign.
Netherlands car.
Yeah.
crash.
I've never seen this movie. This is like the first movie. I
So
actually
the
haven't
plausibility
seen.
score is 4 out of 5. It's hard to write all these off as coincidence, even when some people discount some of it. Like the existence of the Dutch street sign, there's a lot more that's been verified. So apparently the Dutch street sign has been verified.
Okay, I'm willing to take an L.
Do you know how that the little kid, Harvey Stevens, got the part?
Let me guess. He sat there and stared at a piece of paper and
No.
did nothing.
When 4-year-old Harvey Stevens auditioned for the part of Damien, director Richard Donner had him act out one of the role's more demanding moments. Donner invited Stevens to attack him, and he did. He kicked him right in the balls. The ballsy move is the reason Steven got the role.
I'll be honest though.
I mean, it's not a curse type of deal, but still a little weird.
It's kind of creepy.
kid's
Come on,
like-
kid, fight me. Like you'll get this if you fight me. Like that's
He's Hisoka.
yo.
This
That's
kid, Richard Donner, 1v1 to 4-year-old.
Square up, yo.
yeah.
Square
You
up.
want the roll?
So the next movie, I don't like the title of this next movie.
Go on.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh.
I've heard of this.
Cannibal
movie.
Holocaust. All right, go ahead.
I've heard of
In
this.
1980 has a 67% on Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
know where they're gonna go with this.
We're getting into
Not
some
long
territory
after
I don't
Snuff,
even know.
another film came under fire for allegedly depicting actual murders.
Yes.
And it all was an early example of found footage horror to boot.
Yes.
This Italian cult movie was built around the idea that footage was discovered after American film crew disappeared in the Amazon rainforest and were killed and eaten by indigenous cannibals. The gore is so intense and realistic that a few days after the movie's premiere, Italian authorities confiscated the
Excuses.
film. Director Ruggero Deodato was charged with obscenity, and he was eventually slapped with a murder charge when it was suggested Cannibal Holocaust was, in fact, a snuff film. Although it was later proven to be that none of the actors were killed or harmed, the film does depict scenes of intense animal cruelty that were real. Fun fact, the fake documentary the crew was working on was called The Green Inferno, which would be the title of the adopted by Eli Roth for his 2013 homage to Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, he did a movie very similar. I mean, Cannibal Holocaust, it gave a bad name to cannibals all around the world.
I hate you so much.
It
I
also starred
hate you so much.
It also starred the late great Robert Kerman. You know who Robert Kerman is?
Educate
Kermit
me.
the Frog
Okay.
here.
You're our Prince of Porn here, so okay, Robert Kerman.
Prince of Porn.
I'm
That's
the
your new
prince.
name.
Robert
He's
Kerman.
the king. I'm the prince.
Robert Kerman, who was a phenomenal actor. This guy was on TV and everything
How
else.
big was his dick?
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, he went under his porn name as R. Bola or Richard Bola, and he made a lot of porn movies, and he could never make the swing into, into legitimate movies. But that was one of them that he did, and he also did. There was a sequel he did too. He made also.
I wish
just a
his
little-
name was like Ebola.
You're a
No.
dick. I swear to God.
All right, yeah, I'll give this next one to you. I'm not. I'll let my voice take. The next one is The Crow.
Thank you for giving me the heads up, so I can pull up the research on. Oh, there we go.
You know The Crow like the back of your hand.
Yes, I know The Crow. Brandon Lee was cast in The Crow, son of the late great Bruce Lee. And Brandon, in a scene that depict his character in the movie's death, Eric's death, they gave I forgot the guy's name who shot him, but they gave him a prop gun, and it misfired and it caught him right in the chest. And they were filming.
Well,
And
I
they-
thought hold up. I thought he got killed by a blank.
Yeah, blank. Yeah, but it was a prop gun misfired. A blank went out, caught him in the chest. Was fired at close range,
That's why.
and the director yelled "cut," and Brandon didn't get up. They rushed him to the hospital. he died. And they had to finish the movie, which they did. And the only thing they really had to do was they filmed a lot of stuff with a stunt double in shadow, so you couldn't really see his face. And the scene where he's putting the makeup on his face for the first time, it's all shot from the back, and everything in the mirror that you see of his face is all CGI'd in. And you can kind of tell, I mean, it holds up very, very well, but if you know what you're looking for, you can kind of see, it doesn't really look as clear, or looks like it's superimposed a bit. But that's what happened with The Crow. I don't know of any other curses that came from it other than just Brandon's death. But the whole idea of The Crow is a comic written by James O'Barr, graphic novel, and in it it's about a rock and roller a rock and roll artist and his girlfriend who are violently killed, and he is resurrected from the grave to avenge him and his girlfriend Shelley's murder. That's essentially what it is. Well, yeah, she was beautifully R-worded. Not him so much.
I only throw it in because
No, it's in there.
I'm reading it right now.
I don't care.
You
never know what's gonna wind up on TikTok.
There was a lot more that happened on that, though. Apparently,
why The Crow is a cursed film.
The set was there was a lot of setbacks and accidents. The set was destroyed numerous times, most notably by a hurricane that struck North Carolina, which is the filming location. But in general, the problem seemed to have been caused mostly by the fact that it was low budget and behind schedule.
Well, that's also a factor.
And corners were cut a little too recklessly. Some even claim that the Chinese mafia assassinated Bruce and Brandon, which is eerie when you think about the fact that Bruce Lee's last film, Game of Death, seems to predict this. In that movie, Bruce's character is a martial arts actor who was shot by an assassin posing as one of the stunt crew. Also, the biopic dragging the Bruce Lee story anthropomorphizes, whatever the fuck, the supposed family curse as a physical demon that haunts Lee his whole life. At one point in the film, the demon goes on after a young Brandon. Dragon was released in 1993, a year before The Crow.
You also missed something too. There was also, I don't know, I could have missed it, but you said on the first day of shooting, an electrician was backing a cherry picker truck up and hit high tension wire on power lines above him. He was electrocuted and caught on fire. Everyone rushed him to the hospital.
Motherfucker's on fire.
Listen.
He was treated for 2nd and 3rd degree burns. He survived, but he had to get his ears removed.
But here's the thing.
But that was the first thing that happened.
But here's the thing. Okay, when you have when you're behind and there's budgetary issues and it's a low budget thing and all this shit, people cut corners. Like, mistakes will happen. Like, there is hundreds and hundreds of people who have been hurt or killed working on movies. Stunt people, actors and actresses. Like, this is not exactly uncommon. I mean, just look at what happened, like, not even a year ago. Alec Baldwin. He shot a woman to death. Well, you mean to death means, like, he stood over and, like, bang, bang. No. Like, he shot her. She's dead. And now they're still, like, the lawyer wants to bring him up on charges of like, involuntary manslaughter.
They did.
Yeah.
They brought him up on charges.
Right. So, I mean, he could face 10 years in prison if found guilty. But you now have to figure, like, the biggest question is, like, who the fuck brought real bullets on set, assholes?
Well,
so, like, this is common. Like, people get hurt.
Yeah.
Hollywood is dangerous. I mean, Vin Diesel has lost this. Nothing's more stronger than family. But Vin Diesel had a stuntman who flew into a wall, like it was a paragliding thing.
Family.
It was a paragliding thing during, I think, Fast 9, and the guy, like, misjudged it and, like, splat into a wall.
Well,
and there was a movie, I think, Triple X. No, I might have got the reverse, but, like, Triple X, someone got hurt. In Fast 9, someone got hurt or someone died. Like, it's a dangerous thing to be a stunt person.
Yeah. Well,
we just find the Vin Diesel curse.
You work for Vin Diesel, you die.
We're gonna take a short little break and we'll come back. There's a couple more movies and then we'll get into whether we believe in cursed movies or not. But we'll be right back.
If you liked this video today, please click the like and subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification icon to keep up with all our videos.
And welcome back to our episode that is presented by Debbie. W.GG. Go to W.GG. Get your 10% off by using the code IsThisRealPC for all your W products.
Hey, we're making a killing. Let's keep it going.
Yes. So we have a couple more movies, and the one I would like. I know, Dad, you have two. I want to get my first one out of the way because it's one that we've talked about on this show. We had a whole episode dedicated on it.
Yes.
It is Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I believe that was your first episode, Rosemary's Baby.
That's the episode that Pop West is Cherry?
Pop West his cherry?
Yeah.
What?
Was it the first? No, I think that was the
West popped his cherry. Did you just have a stroke?
Huh? Boy, you people, where's my horse?
Well, I did pop my cherry pretty late, so.
Okay. Anywho. So Rosemary's Baby is...
yes, that was the episode that, like, after that, I started.
Yeah,
pretty
you
much
and
just-
you and
I
Wes
just-
was
I
here.
just-
You and Roblox was here all the time
Yeah,
after that.
that's when I pretty much just like became a person of that.
Why not complete Satan's own personal trilogy with a supposedly cursed movie that predates both The Omen and The Exorcist? Rosemary's Baby is rightly credited with redefining the horror genre by taking it away from the campy cobwebs and castles of old Vincent Price days and legitimizing it as a real grown-up art form.
That's fair to say.
Excuse me.
That's fair. I mean, think of all the movies that came before Rosemary's Baby. It was stuff like House on Haunted Hill.
Which is still a brilliant.
No,
horror
they're
movie.
like, yes, but they had this, like, the skeletons on strings type of shit. You know what I mean?
Campy. They're campy.
And then you have this movie where a woman's being raped by Anton LaVey in a devil mask. You're like, all right, this is different.
No, that was Anton LaVey?
Dude, you were here for the fucking Anton LaVey episode that kicked off this season.
I don't remember you saying that in the movie.
I said.
Yes,
I mean,
he
in
said
the
that.
episode.
You even fucking
Wait,
responded
hold on.
to it. Are we going to bring up that clip right now from the first episode of this
No,
season?
no. Let's
Technical difficulty.
he hit the button by mistake. So we'll redo that. That's good because I kind of like threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Oh dear God! Why would you share that?
Well, that whole little pause that I did, that was that.
Mind me, I'm just vomiting.
All right, are we ready?
5,
That's fine.
4.
I was picking my nose, you know. I needed to realize a good thing we were doing. I had my finger in
5,
my ass.
4, 3, 2. And welcome back to our Cursed Movies episode presented by Dubby.
Shout out to Dubby.
Dubby. Go to
Dubby.
Dubby. What? I thought someone said Joe. I'm like, what? What happened? Go to Dubby.GG. Go punch in the code IsThisRealPC for 10% off any Dubby products. And continue to support Is This Real.
Yeah, that
Right
was some
there,
good
Dad, the way
shit.
you're staring off right now is kind of concerning.
You okay? Are you being cursed?
Do you need some Dubby?
No, I'm just waiting for this thing to get moving here.
I don't like the fact
Okay.
that both your hands are on the desk. What are you doing down there? Just, I
Uh,
gotta entertain myself somehow.
So, Dad, I know you do have you have 2 more movies you want to talk about.
Well, you were in the middle of the Rosemary's Baby, so I think
That's
maybe we should.
you know that was a mistake that we cleared up that didn't happen on this new thing.
Hi,
that
everyone.
was
We
wiped
fucked,
away.
we
Well,
fucked
Yeah,
up
we
something.
I
fucked
wanna-
away.
I
We-
want to talk about Rosemary's Baby now that you brought it up.
No, can I?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I
Come
think
on.
the conversation that me and Anthony were having before someone hit the button was very interesting.
You are intimidated by me. I will fucking strike fear in your heart, bro.
Listen, just because you Muay Thai me doesn't mean anything.
So prior to
Anywho.
Rosemary's Baby,
So hold on. So while not complete Satan's own personal trilogy with supposedly cursed movies that predates both The Omen and The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby is rightly credited with redefining the horror genre by taking it away from campy cobwebs and castles of old Vincent Price's days and legitimizing it as a real grown-up art form.
Right.
yes.
And with the conversation we had, that now that Dad just pulled back the fucking curtain and exposed our fourth wall, is that
You're welcome.
Vincent Price and they were campy in a way.
They were. I
movies
mean,
that
you saw like
predated this-
skeletons on strings.
And again,
and
if
shit.
you didn't, if you haven't watched this movie, I suggest you go do it. It is 1962,
8.
68.
It is cheesy by
Cheesy?
they-
You think it's cheesy?
Well, it would be.
I don't
cheesy
know.
by today's standards.
There's a rape scene including Anton LaVey dressed as the devil. Doesn't seem too cheesy to me.
I don't think it was cheesy at all. I think what it did was it brought out a part of satanic underworld that could be going on in certain aspects of areas of our life.
Like, you mean like undertones?
Undertones, stuff like that. I mean, you got.
The undertones of the underworld of Satan.
You can blow me always if you'd like. Okay.
I'm correcting you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's get back to Rosemary's Baby here.
But yeah, so all I'm saying is we do have an episode on this on Is This Real?
Right.
It's like in season 1.
Yeah.
And season 1, season 2,
season
something
2,
like
I
that.
think it was like
It was
the
West's first
Halloween.
episode.
Yeah,
It was the bad old days.
Yeah, it was where our audio, we were talking like this.
Didn't we all sit and watch the movie and then come down
And then
do
come
it?
down right
Yeah,
after.
okay.
That's when we all sat down and watched the movie, and then came down right after.
Whoever was like looking at every noise that was, going
Yeah,
on.
it was-
like, bing,
look,
bing, bing.
I've seen this movie because of you over the years, and it really truly is one of my favorite horror movies. Is because again, it's horror movies these days can sit there and really over dramatize the horror. There wasn't it was simple horror and shit that again, it's things that make you think. There's one of this, which is why I think it worked as well. It's one of those movies that made you think of that could actually happen to me. Not that the whole Anton LaVey, Satan
Well,
raping.
it's also something that you didn't see much of in mainstream Hollywood either. It's
It
like,
made you question your neighbors because it's just at least
I
if
always question my
at
neighbors.
At least if I were to watch a movie like this back in those days, where like you would think that your neighbor is like your best friend or anything, and then the possibility of a Satan worshiper, and then having all
It wasn't
this,
just one; it was the entire fucking building.
yeah, well, you know what I mean. Like that's the sort of stuff that you wouldn't have thought.
yeah, I mean, nowadays they put that right on Yelp. It's like, or Zillow.
The woman who played the old lady, Ruth Gordon, she was great because she was her friend. She gave her the little milk drink to milk, the little drink to drink. She was a cute old lady. It turned out that she was more a fucking Satanist. So, and it had a great cast in it. I mean, John Cassavetes, Ruth Gordon,
Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow, and then the guy who played in.
I think I only saw it once.
I can't think of his name.
That
He
was with us.
played one of the brothers in Trading Places.
No, I saw it.
Oh,
and then
Ralph
we
Bellamy.
came-
Ralph
and I
Bellamy,
came
yes.
to
So it was really an all-star cast.
Well, let's get into the reason why they think it's cursed.
Go ahead.
I'm not talking to you, Randall.
Besides, the actual plot of the movie. Producer William Castle, who was infamous in the 1950s and 60s for promoting all sorts of gimmicks like floating skeletons and rumbling theater seats in an effort to sell the reality of his horror films, believed that real witches had cursed the set. The film's composer suffered a nasty fall shortly after the movie wrapped and died after being comatose for several days.
The director actually was hospitalized for kidney stones as well.
Castle himself, the producer Castle
Yeah,
himself.
I was about to say, Castle wasn't the, what do you call it? Roman
The director,
Polanski directed it.
Castle himself fell ill with painful gallstones that required surgery, and of course, director Roman Polanski's wife, at the time, actress Sharon Tate, and their unborn child would fall victim to the Manson family a year after the film's release.
Yeah, listen, I understand, like, the stars are aligned here for, like, it's a curse. But at the same time, it's like gallstones are a medical condition. Somebody tripped and fell, and Sharon Tate was the victim of an infamous crime. At least the first two is like, those things happen. People fall off ladders and people get
Polanski's
sick.
the one that just did the whale movie, right?
No, that wasn't Roman.
Wasn't Polanski
That's
the
Darren
one that was
Aronofsky, I think.
charged with raping a 15-year-old
All
girl?
right,
Yeah.
Back in like the
Yeah.
early 70s. The last thing that Roman
was in Jack
Polanski did
Nicholson's
that was
house.
released was The Pianist,
It was in Jack Nicholson's house?
which I think is a brilliant movie, by the way.
Well,
But
they
anyway,
were- he was cool with Jack Nicholson.
Castle actually experienced hallucinations of
Talking about
scenes
Roman
from the film and was said to at one point have screamed, "Rosemary, for God's sakes, drop that knife." So I agree with Anthony. I think this is a lot of coincidences. I don't see anything curse-wise here at all. I really don't.
I mean, it doesn't help when you have the leader of the Satanic Church play the devil.
Well,
in the movie.
You're right, but as we talked about in the
Anton LaVey
the
episode.
Anton LaVey episode, was he as much as he says he, or was he just a really big?
It's like, you want me to play Satan
Satan?
himself?
And this is him later. You know, that was what
He's like, you know what? I think I could brush off my acting chops for that role. I'll do some research.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Motherfucker's writing the book. Of course he knows what he's doing.
Anton LaVey was, he was a trickster. You know what I'm saying? If we believe most of the shit that we talked about in that episode, he was a fucking trickster.
Right.
And made people believe what they want. All right, Dad, you have 2 movies
Yeah,
you want to get to?
both of them are in the Conjuring universe. The first one I'm going to go to is Annabelle.
Fuck that movie.
Well, the director, John R. Leonetti, reported seeing and taking a picture of 3 fingers drawn through the dust along the window, backlit by the moon. Notably, the demon of Annabelle, has 3 fingers or talons. Naturally, it spooked the director. Second, producer Peter Safran can attest that while mysterious markings may have been easy to dismiss, sudden, unexplainable events that mirror the horror of the film being made are harder to write off. Okay, because we shot this in the amazing old apartment near Koreatown, and in some funky stuff was going down. In particular, the first day a demon was shooting in full makeup. We brought the demon up in the elevator. He walks out and walks around the green room to where we're holding the talent. And just as he walks under a giant glass light fixture is being followed by the actor. I'm sorry, hold on. A giant glass light fixture is being followed by the actor playing the handyman of the building. And all of a sudden, the entire glass light fixture falls down on his head, on the janitor's head. And in the script, the demon kills the janitor in the hallway. It was totally freaky. That's that one. I don't know if anything else went on,
Yeah, but isn't that doll itself actually like really haunted?
The original doll, not the one they used for the movie.
No, the one they used for the movie is just a doll.
It's
they
a
made
prop
look
doll.
Creepy. They made like a dozen of them because they, the one that
The one that's in the
right, that's
Ed and Lorraine's house.
right. That's
That's
not.
it's a Raggedy Ann.
That's a
doll.
Raggedy Ann doll. They couldn't put that in
that
the
had
movie.
no hands.
Well, they couldn't use
Well, I
that
mean,
in
it
the
had, like,
movie
hands in
because
the
they would get
doll.
sued.
It was actually that movie was based on that actual
yes.
doll.
Right. They
Well, to be honest, the entire to me, what it seems like the entire fucking universe surrounds that doll. The entire Conjuring universe surrounds.
Well,
that
you can't
doll.
say The Conjuring does because it really has nothing to do with that dog, except in the beginning with that little snippet in the beginning. But,
But everything leads because if I'm again, I don't want to sit there and go into a whole fucking Conjuring dialect. But if I'm sitting here thinking about what the Conjuring universe is, most of these fucking like Valak and all these lead back to the same demon that haunts the doll.
Yeah, it's
Well,
funny.
no, the doll. I just was looking up because I never saw Annabelle. So
It
I was
actually is creepy.
I saw the third Annabelle movie, which
Like the first one, that's the one that you had the demon coming up the stairs, right?
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't see the
That one
first.
fucked me.
I
up.
didn't see the first one. I saw the third one, and I just looked it up. So the demon from the Nun's name is Valak.
Mhm.
The one from Annabelle's name is Malthus, some
But they're
shit like
connected
that.
somehow.
Yeah, they're both from hell. They're neighbors. They live in the same.
They live in the same commune.
They live in the same. They live on the same cul-de-sac. You know. They literally like wave at each other.
Hey, neighbor.
Yeah, they walk out with a little fucking briefcase. Where are you haunting today? Oh,
Off to torture some souls today.
I'm torturing souls in a monastery in Italy. You have fun. Take some pictures. Get me a shot glass.
And then just
What are you doing today? My boss got me possessing some fucking doll. You know, so
do they work 40 hours or do you think they work overtime?
they have to work overtime
Bro.
because kids scare at night. So they're waiting up the whole day. So I guarantee, like, I'm going out for lunch, but they're out for like a half an hour, 45
Dad, you have
minutes.
another fucking movie.
I do. Glad you asked. It's actually from The Nun.
8 years
You're
old.
just talking about it.
Valak.
Okay, The Nun.
All
That
she needed was a
movie-
little dick, and she would have
This
been
one,
fine.
this one is a little hard to
That
understand. It's a
movie
hard
fucked me
to.
up.
Well, it's a tough one. Okay.
It's a dumb
The
one.
chick, first of all, the chick that played the nun is actually very good looking.
No. I've seen her without makeup.
Okay.
I'd rather fuck her with the makeup on.
There was unexplained bruising on some of the people. Okay. To an alleged water poltergeist. But one of the story series.
What is this, an
And then it's
airbender next?
particularly no. Director James Hardy claims to have seen not one but 2 apparitions while filming a sequence in the narrow hallway of a real-life Romanian castle. Corin recounts stepping in a side room to allow the camera to pass. When he entered the dark space, he saw 2 men sitting at the back of the room. He assumed they were crew members. Corin stayed in the room for 1 take and upon completion turned to speak with the men, but they were both gone. and they didn't go past him. So what were they? Again, his word
First
against
of all-
You're also filming in a Romanian castle. That's
Yeah.
where like ghosts are invented.
Yeah, like that's like the origin of every ghost is in somewhere in Romania.
Like spooky shit happens on
And
the
where do
daily.
we get that from? Come on. I'll wait. Where do we connect Romania with every fucking horror?
Transylvania.
Well, Transylvania.
Dracula.
Dracula.
All
All
right.
goes back to the greatest horror film ever, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one without makeup. Look at that.
What's her name? Wait, hold on. Bonnie.
It's right there. Bonnie Aarons.
I'll be honest.
Nope, put the makeup on. Put on the habit. I'm into weird shit.
I'll
Looks better with the makeup.
I'll be honest. I'm sitting here. I
Hate to
prefer
sound sexist, but
I prefer the Dracula with Abbott and Costello over the actual Dracula movie.
Well, it's the same guy.
No, I know
The
that.
only two times he played it was the Dracula, and then Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
It
so.
that was better than the actual Dracula movie.
you're talking about
itself.
Bela Lugosi?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, what I'm saying is I like the Abbott and Costello movie over the
Oh,
original Dracula.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the last movie I have, I don't know. See, do you have any curse movies you want to talk about?
No, guys kind of just hit them.
No.
I mean, I got a movie for you that it's not. We could call it cursed, but I just think it was poor planning. You ever heard of The Conqueror?
Never heard of the movie. Yeah.
Conqueror was a movie that was made in 1956,
So it's an old
starring
movie.
John Wayne as Genghis Khan. I'm not making that up at all.
I'm Genghis Khan. Yes, I am.
I'm gonna raid your village, pilgrim. You want to talk about a movie that was complete? Like, okay, we look back in 2023. We look back in 2023 and go, oh, shit was whitewashed, and how could they do it in the 50s, whatever. This movie kind of stands out. Even back then, everyone was like, maybe not. Like, he played Genghis Khan.
And this was back when like racism was a full-on thing too.
Yeah, like
they turn around and was like, John, no.
It's like this is
Shit
like
in place.
we're making a movie about like Mongolians.
John Wayne.
John fucking Wayne, of course. John Wayne, Susan Hayward, Agnes Moorehead.
I could just see him in full fucking Mongolian uniform.
Little Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu walking on top of the fucking China Wall.
Well, here's the thing. They filmed this movie in Utah, about 140 miles away.
Because
from-
I think Mongolia when I think of Utah.
Well, I mean, you need mountains and shit. But they filmed this movie 140 miles away from nuclear testing sites.
Nice.
So they were they were actively testing nuclear weapons. It was the site of Operation Upshot Knothole.
Shut up!
All right. It was that operation. So they're testing nukes. This is 1955, 1956. We're testing nukes. Okay? Let's film a movie 140 miles away. Listen.
Hey, you know what?
Earl-
He
look-
might look like a Mongolian.
Listen. We have a fucking disaster.
Image of him is
We have a
Genghis
disaster in our country in 20.
Hold on, there's an actual image.
Oh, yeah, it's a whole movie.
Oh, it really was made. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it wasn't.
No, it was really made. Listen, we have a disaster now in 2023 with the East Palestine, whatever
Yeah.
fucking train. People are sick. Animals are dying in Ohio.
That's
Right?
why I didn't want to go to Pennsylvania this weekend.
People are legit getting hurt and sick in Ohio because of that train derailment. This was 137 miles from the nuclear test site. What do you think happened? Spoiler alert:
They got sick.
cancer kills people. A lot of people got sick.
Yeah, you know what John Wayne was thinking? I'll fucking do it again.
No, he didn't, because, well, okay, some people died relatively quickly afterwards. Some people took a long time. Like John Wayne died a couple of years later, but after he had developed stomach cancer or whatever kind of cancer it was. You had Pedro. I'm gonna fuck his last name up.
Just don't say it then.
Pedro Dariz, whatever.
Is it?
Yeah, just don't hand it over to the two Hispanics we have in the booth.
That one.
God forbid,
Armendariz.
Amendariz.
Let's just utilize their talents as we can.
So Petey died, like he caught cancer immediately, and like he's like, I can't live with that, so he killed himself. Like
Oh my God!
like John Wayne died, Susan Hayward died, Agnes Moorehead died, like Lee Van Cleef died. Like there
Lee
was-
Iacocca?
There are so many people who are associated with this movie who died of cancer within 10 years because, they filmed 140 miles away downwind from nuclear test site.
Oh, downwind?
It's like, oh, no, it's fine. What's that boom? No, don't worry about it. We'll use it for thunder in the film.
Well, I have one more film.
Yikes.
And then we'll wrap it up and, do our whole if we believe in
That movie
movies or
made
not.
$9 million.
It's called Atuk. I believe that's how to pronounce it. Atuk.
Atuk.
So rounding out our their list of horror is not a horror film, but a movie that is believed to be so cursed it will never be made.
Yeah.
A comedy based in 1963, on a 1963 satirical novel called The Incomparable Atuk.
Yes.
By Canadian author Mordecai Reichler. The story is about an Inuit poet.
Eskimo.
Okay, that's not what they have here. But
Yeah, and
cool.
Inuit are the Eskimo people.
Oh, okay. That
Alaskan
sounds racist.
An Alaskan native.
Snow Mexicans.
So it's about poet. It's about a poet who travels to Toronto and has a series of fish out of water experiences in the big city. The film version Americanized it by making Atuk a native of Alaska who travels to New York. Sounds pretty basic, right? It might be, but if the movie didn't seem to kill every actor associated with the lead role.
Yeah.
The Curse of Atuk is particularly weird because the novel itself isn't about anything sinister or paranormal. The first man up for the role was comedy legend John Belushi.
Yep.
After his untimely death from a drug overdose, the producers approached comedian Sam Kinison, who then died in a drunk driving accident. So they decided to offer the part to John Candy, who would die from a heart attack a few months later after getting the script. Undaunted, the part was even then dangled in front of another SNL vet, Chris Farley. He too would succumb to drug overdose. Even stranger, Farley allegedly gave a copy of the script to a friend who he thought might be interested in the role, namely fellow SNL alum Phil Hartman. 5 months later, Farley's death, Hartman was shot and killed by his wife. 5 months after Harley's death, Hartman was shot and killed by his wife, who committed suicide hours later.
Yeah.
So this movie is never made because they're like, should we give it to somebody else? No.
I think Green Arrow should make it.
No.
We're right here.
No.
I can just get a big fluffy parka. I'll play a Took.
No. No, we would be canceled in a heartbeat.
Why would we be canceled?
Because we're white people.
It's about a white man from Alaska coming to New York and being like, oh, this is some big buildings, eh?
Just right there.
What?
The Canadians would hate us.
Listen, it's not about Canadians, it's about Alaskans.
Anywho.
Do they have accents?
Alaskans?
Alaskans?
I
think there's some sort of like.
You're an asshole.
Isn't Alaska beautiful? Look at all the moose. Like, I think that's as close as I can get to their accent.
You're really an asshole. Well, let's just put it like this. Let's go right
Natural
into
beauty,
it.
but no one fucking lives there.
Let's go into it. Dad.
Yeah.
Do you believed in these cursed movies? Again, do you believe that a movie could be cursed?
Oh, yeah, I believe a movie could be cursed, absolutely. Do I believe the ones we're talking about? No, I don't. And I'll
None
tell
of
you,
them?
None of them.
Not even The Exorcist?
Or Atuk that killed every favorite comedic actor in the 80s and 90s?
I'd have to do more research on that one.
I just showed it.
I understand that, Joe, but that's a movie I didn't prepare for, so I don't know. I understand that, but I like to read it myself, if you don't mind.
Okay, read all the 6 actors that they approached died.
Okay.
Okay,
that's fine.
Really
so if that did in fact happen, then
are they dead?
I don't know if the movie was cursed.
Yes, they are.
If they're dead and they were offered the role, how is?
See, now this is where I start to call names, and you don't like it.
Well, I didn't call you a name. So
Well, you could. You just don't shut up.
I don't think you should call me a name.
Do I believe that a movie can be cursed? And if you're in fact telling me the truth, and 5 actors died when they were approached to get the movie, then maybe it is cursed. The other stuff that we talked about earlier, I don't. What?
No. Okay. So no.
Giant marshmallow.
So no, none of the curses,
I can't.
even
say-
Poltergeist and none of that.
Poltergeist, I'm going to say no because again, the little girl lived to do. She didn't to die because of that movie. She went on to move to other.
So
movies.
the only thing you're basically saying, like, the movie, if the movie's actually going to be cursed, you want them to be like struck on set dead, DOA on set.
Or no, not everybody dead, but I mean, if there's going to be something happening that's strange to them, I want it to be connected to this movie. I don't want them to go on and do 6 movies and go, you know what? I made the movie 30 years ago. It must have been cursed because a bus hit me. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
You
this,
know,
What about a little bit of pregame? Because there was some of them that were like some pregame things, like.
like
which one
Rosemary's
was it?
Baby is the scariest one to me. I'll go last. Sorry.
So I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment on a lot of them because I think it's, like Anthony said earlier, a lot of this Hollywood stuff, anything can happen on these sets. People try to cut corners. They're trying to save money.
All right.
Who
What-
knows?
What about all the shit that happened on the Omen set and
Yeah.
pre-Omen?
Well, you know what? If you're going to give me one of these, that would be the one. Because there's a lot of other stuff that did happen that I was going
I
to
think
read,
the
but
lightning striking the
too-
plane twice is just.
we would be here all
I think
night.
that was the-
However,
that's a kicker right
if
there.
there's one that I would believe is cursed, it would be the Omen.
All right.
All right.
Sito?
I'm kind of with Dad. Like a lot of these could just be set accidents. Some of them I could sit down and believe, like the Took, like how
A toque, attic, whatever
Yeah.
you want to say.
Took like.
Attic.
I'm gonna be honest, like the curse was kind of spawn killing actors before like they
Spawn killing.
they can't even get the role yet.
Phil Hartman. All right, so
Yeah.
you're gonna go with the Omen as the
Yeah,
only
that's
one
like
you
my
believe
most
is cursed.
plausible one.
All right, Pope.
I'm the same way. The Omen's probably the only one for me that sticks out. Everything else, kind of be like, it's a little odd, but I don't want to blame it on there. Like,
Thank you, darling.
I mean, let's face facts. Like bad shit happens all the time. Like Dad was saying, like people cut corners. You're looking to
Bad
save
shit
some money.
happens. Be a man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like dust off, get back to filming the movie. God damn it. Sometimes people see weird shit. Okay, ghosts exist. Oh, I know. It's true.
I'm buying an Annabelle doll,
No, the fuck you're not.
and I'm putting it right up there.
No, the fuck you're not.
Yes, I am.
You know,
I'm going to do
Yeah,
that.
and when the
Nun.
fucking thing moves in the middle of the night, and I'm gonna say, Joey, I don't know what to do.
You're not down here in the middle of the night. Don't worry about
All
it.
right, but when you come in the garage and you're sitting
Anyway.
there like,
Oh,
I'm
wait,
not gonna be here anymore.
$442? No, I'm not doing it. Fuck that.
$440 for an Annabelle doll?
You can get one from Hot Top for like $60.
it's
I mean, no,
60% off.
I don't think so. I don't
Give
think
it a
it's.
shelf and put it right above.
I don't think it's. I mean,
With
maybe
my
the
ass
Omen
in
would be
it,
the
though.
only one. Listen, here's some weird shit. Fucking, the guy who played Jesus, Jim Caviezel, he was struck by lightning while he was up on the cross.
Twice, I think.
Like, that's a sign.
Yeah, but
You
he
know
didn't
what?
feel
I
it.
don't like this film.
But I don't think he told you he didn't feel it though.
Well, he wasn't grounded. He was suspended on the fucking cross.
Well, speaking about that, the fucking Jesus about to take a dive bomb in Brazil. That statue, that
They
was
also
struck by lightning
yeah,
over the
I heard about
weekend.
that.
It gets struck by lightning all the time. It has fucking iron rods built into the head of it. It's supposed to get struck by
Fucking
lightning.
creepy.
It's why it's the same thing with the World Trade Center. That's why the spire's on.
No,
it.
that was hit by a plane. Talk about curses. Can you sit down so we can finish this?
I really must be out of the loop 'cause I have no idea what the fuck's going on right now.
You missed it.
Please, so we can finish this.
That was good. That was good. Good game, sir. Good game. Good game.
Oh
My
my
hat's
God.
off to you, sir.
Good game.
The Omen would be the only one. Wes, what do you think?
The Omen definitely is cursed. A lot of this shit is bullshit to me. Can curses be a thing? Yeah, the Omen's a good example of it. Other than that, yeah.
Well, I think that's something we have to sit there and I don't even think we asked that at the beginning of the season. Like, do you believe in curses?
I believe in curses.
Like, I don't think we actually believe that. I don't think we asked that at the beginning of the season.
That should
If
be
we
like
all
a
sit there,
end of season thing, because to be honest, if we all just say no, we don't believe in curses. That'd be a
yeah, like
very
you'd
weird
sit there.
season.
Like, I understand it's a general consensus that maybe we all do believe in it, but like I think most of the episodes we have done this season, we're like, no. Like, there's maybe 1 or 2 episodes that I think we all sit there like, yeah, they're pretty
Little
fucked.
bastard.
Yeah, Little Bastard was pretty fucked.
Yeah,
All right,
that was
when
a-
just
That was a good
random street people get attacked. Like, but for me, I do have to say, like, the Omen, yeah, I'm gonna put on there. The Rosemary's Baby, I'm gonna put up there. The Crow, I'll sit there and I believe the Crow a little bit. I do. But other than that, and maybe a Took, because like when
that
you're
was another one.
when you're pre-killing actors,
Yeah, Nelson spot
spawn killing, like.
when you're spawn killing actors before they even get the role.
And it's
that's
like
pretty- that's
the
pretty
movie
fucked.
has to be cursed if it was never made. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's pretty fucked.
you touch the script, you die. That's the movie we need to make. The documentary. You touch the script, you died. People will sit there and read that. But thank you guys for joining the episode. What?
Just trying to, we're trying to redecorate the place down here with stuff you might enjoy, like the 10-inch rotating nun doll.
See,
okay.
it's had he stopped at just 10-inch and rotating, I'd have been like, go on.
Yeah, Anthony would have liked a 10-inch rotating dildo. But
Bitch
yeah,
looks like
I
my
don't.
grandmother.
As far as most of these movies, what'd you say?
He said Valak looked like his grandmother.
Damn. Most of these movies, I'm gonna say no. Like The Exorcist intrigues me a lot. But you know which movie we didn't talk because I don't think anything happened on set. But the what's the one movie about the cop that turned to Exorcist?
What?
Oh no, you're talking about Deliver Us from Evil.
Yeah.
That's with.
Nothing happened on set, but that was a true story.
It's a true story.
Like I don't know if you could count true stories as like weird shit.
Well,
but,
no, it would have to be something that happened on the set. It burned down or something. I don't know anything about that, but I'm trying to think of the guy's name that the detective.
yeah,
Ed Starkey or something.
yeah, something like that. But as far as that, like I think most of these are just coinky dinks.
Yeah, I did too.
Really spooky coinky things.
Really, really spooky urban coinky dinks.
Spawn killing actors.
Yes.
Best
But again, so we'll end this episode here. And what do we have next week?
Oh, I don't know. I have it.
Hold
We're
on.
coming up to the end of the season. I know that.
Yeah, we have I think 3 episodes left.
Almost there.
Yeah,
Yes.
3 episodes, and should our last episodes when we tell people what we're gonna do for season 9?
Yes, let's leave that. Oh, next week is the Hope Diamond.
The Hope Diamond.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
We
We
have
have
no
the
hope.
Hope Diamond, the Ranger's Curse, and the Kennedy
and not
Curse.
for nothing, but you know what? I just want to talk to everybody out there now. If you're watching this,
Oh,
so you're watching the show. You're enjoying our show. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're supporting us by going to Dubby. You're doing all this stuff. There's
Patreon.
we have other shows on the network. Okay, we have our Patreon, and we're really
That's
busting
not
it.
well. Technically, that's not on the network. That's Patreon exclusive.
I understand that, but it's all part of Green Arrow. It's part of what we're doing. Okay, we have the Is This Real After Hours, which I'm sure you guys are going to do tonight.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's only on TikTok.
right. Well, we have the Is This Real True Crime. That's really, really good. I listened to an episode or two. It's really good. I'm not on that, but I won't hold that against them.
How
okay?
did you listen? Did you sign up for the Patreon? I
No,
never
that's why I
sent you
said
the
I-
episodes.
No, that's why I said I didn't listen to all of them. Okay.
You didn't listen to any of them. You lying prick.
They don't know that.
Wait a minute. I gotta pay to listen
Wait,
to this
hold
shit?
on. No. If he can pull back the fourth wall, I can too.
You're sabotaging the company, Joe.
Wow. And don't forget WGAM. The couple episodes that we put out there, it's pretty
Can't
good.
get that up and running, Dad.
I know, it's a tough one.
YouTube keeps on coming after us.
WGAM.
Yeah, something about rights to music. I'm not sure what that is. But
Fuck
anyway.
that.
Well,
What do you mean I have to pay them?
Anywho,
I'm enjoying it, aren't I?
there just so happened to be a recorder there while I'm listening to music. But yes, please go to www.greenhourmedia.org, all one word. go to our, we have shirts and T-shirts and stuff like that.
Please buy
And
our shit.
Please buy our shit. I mean,
Well, there's people that have been buying
spread
it
shots,
right along, so we're doing
spread
okay.
shop. I mean, I bought our shit.
Yeah, I was
right?
so excited the other day. I
Yeah,
went there.
he came down. He was like, "Look, someone just bought a shirt and a sweater," and I'm like, I'm getting ready to look at them. I'm like, Dad, I just bought a shirt and a sweater. He went, "Fuck." I'm like, it's a specific JC3 shirt. It has my face on it. It has my name on the side. What?
Nothing.
Has my slogan down here.
No, good job. Shook yourself.
Yeah.
Do you
West has his own shirt. Where is your shirt, by the way?
Do you wear it while you jerk off?
I haven't received it yet.
Me.
Thank you, Wes.
You know what? I have no idea where I'm going to order one tonight.
Okay.
We're ordering our own shit.
You can add.
Don't you motherfuckers listen to Biggie? Never get high on your own supply.
You could add stuff.
Scarface.
You could add photos to it too. Like if you want to put a picture of yourself on there, you can.
Why the fuck would I want to do that?
To promote yourself.
Me?
And it has the is.
I do this once a week. That's all the promoting you're gonna get. See, I'm gonna promote. Look at my nice shirt. Walmart, $9.
We not sponsored.
Okay.
Please
the
sponsor.
Blank Mart, $9.
You know what?
Do we really want
We'll
the
wash it
Waltons
once and then
sponsoring
Caden
us?
will be able to wear it.
You know what?
Let's just put it like this: we talk about conspiracy theories. Do we want the Waltons sponsoring us?
$20 is $20.
It's true.
I'm just saying.
Wouldn't
we
you?
have
Wouldn't you like the Is This Real poster in every Walmart?
But if
in the
Walmart,
country?
if the Waltons said, yeah, you can't talk about Walmart.
If you can walk into any Walmart and see your face in the shirt section, partner up with the Subway they had, that cute little Subway.
No.
Jelly from Is This Real always gets the chicken bacon ranch, and you should too.
No.
Get it the JC three-way.
That's brilliant, but no.
What if we get our own McDonald's meal? That would be crazy.
We can have
First of all,
we could
Cardi and the other one.
We
has
could
one.
sell all of the Josh Roblox Son cups in the little area where they do the nails, like the little mini
Oh
salon.
no! You know we're gonna end this episode here. Again, go to www.greenhourmedia.org. Go to our spread shop. Get your Is It Real and Green Hour Media t-shirts.
Me and Wes, we start doing the fourth.
If you want hats, there's hats there also. Which one's his mic? Turn his mic off.
Hey, it's now legal
Right.
in Jersey.
Nope, I think that's his.
I'll stop.
Yeah, go to Spread Shop, get your Green Hour Media and your Is This Real t-shirts. Go to our Patreon page, which is also on the website. Follow our TikTok page, Is This Real PC. And we do after hours, live after hours, after every episode. Me, Wes, Cito, and the Pope. But again, like next week is the Hope Diamond episode. I don't know anything.
We
about
hope
that.
you'll be here.
But again, thank you guys for joining. Everybody say good night.
Adios, motherfuckers.
Adios. Good night, everybody.
We'll catch you guys next week.
Okay.
Question everything. Good night. Everything.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc, or on Twitter at isthisrealpc, or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.